What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news each and every day. I'm Drew Bosley, that's Scott Savage, and you can join us at InsideTheGame.ca, our fast channel over at Rad TV. That's right, we're live 24/7 over there. And of course, those other beautiful television streaming platforms around the globe, talking about Roku, Amazon Prime, Jinx Esports TV, ESTV, and a whole lot more. But if video isn't your way to go, you want to do the audio side, well, hit us up over on the Fired Up Network. Right there, we'll have a podcast version going for you as well, each and every day, Monday to Friday. Scott, dude, it's been a big day in the world of news. What's going on?
Absolutely. The day is finally upon us where the Microsoft ABK final approval has come through. It seems that Microsoft got a whole lot bigger today. Phil Spencer has issued a welcome to the Activision Blizzard teams as they onboard. And Ubisoft clarifies their purpose, their position in this whole ginormous deal.
Definitely been an interesting day. Yo, everybody stay tuned to Monday, however, though. We've got a ton of content dropping, from interviews to reviews and some of the biggest games around. I believe there's 4 things happening over here at ITG that are about to drop on Monday. So, big day. Make sure you check it out. But right now, let's check out the show. We're talking about Activision Blizzard is finally a thing with Microsoft. Whew. Scott, topic number 1. We're finally here. Microsoft's $69 billion deal to acquire Activision Blizzard gets its UK regulator approval. Tom Henderson over at Insider Gaming. It's official. The UK's Competition and Markets Authority, the CMA, has approved Microsoft's $69 billion deal to acquire Activision Blizzard. The CMA has officially approved the deal following the changes, which would ensure Ubisoft would buy Activision's cloud gaming rights. Weird speculation, but let's get into it. Sarah Cardell, the chief executive of the CMA, said, quote, "The CMA is resolute in its determination to prevent mergers that harm competition and deliver bad outcomes for consumers and businesses. We take our decisions free from political influence, and we won't be swayed by corporate lobbying. We delivered a clear message to Microsoft that the deal would be blocked unless they comprehensively address our concerns and stuck to our guns on that. With the sale of Activision's cloud streaming rights to Ubisoft, we've made sure that Microsoft can't have a stronghold over the important and rapidly developing market. As cloud gaming grows, the intervention will ensure people get more competitive prices, better services, and more choices. We are the only competition agency globally to have delivered this outcome. But businesses and their advisors should be in no doubt that the tactics employed by Microsoft are no way to engage with the CMA. Shots fired. Microsoft had the chance to restructure during our initial investigation, but instead continued to insist on a package of measures that we told them simply wouldn't work. Dragging out proceedings is this way only wastes time and money." End quote. Martin Coleman, chair of the independent panel who reviewed the original Microsoft deal, said, quote, "Cloud gaming is an important new way for gamers to access games, and this deal could have seriously undermined this potential development. On that, we, the European Commission and the US Federal Trade Commission, are in full agreement. Where we differ is how we solve the problem. We reject the solution put this to us by the parties, which would have left Microsoft with too much control. We now have new transaction in which the cloud distribution of Activision's games, old and new, is taken away from Microsoft and put into the hands of Ubisoft, an independent party who committed to widening access to the games. The better for competition, better for consumers, and better for economic growth." End quote. Scott, it's over. Dude, it's over. Did you think we'd get this far?
It's finally here. No, I really thought it was going to be just stymied at every step until it was defeated.
Yeah.
There's a bit of an air of saltiness in that those quotes there, and just a little strange because these organizations have to kind of set the example. They have to kind of set the process of how you appeal something like this.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they're just really frustrated that Microsoft has the funds to stay persistent this entire time. But I like the idea of taking everything away, or taking some away, to give to Ubisoft, because I trust Ubisoft, for better or worse, as a publisher and as a company there that will hold this, this access properly and do the right thing with it and be able to proliferate cloud gaming. It does make sense. And until Microsoft buys Ubisoft.
It's funny. I'm like, okay, here's what it all instantly goes to the back of my mind is, what if PlayStation just buys Ubisoft now? All of a sudden now all Activision's cloud goes right over to place. Oh man, like it'll be interesting. Here's the other thing I thought of this morning too, as this article pops up and we're like, yo, it's finally over. Did Jim Ryan see the writing on the wall and that's why he retired 2 weeks ago?
Possible. Certainly possible.
Right? I think he saw this is not going to go in their favor. And though he's put in the 30 plus years, he's like, yeah, my time is up. Yeah, but is there a little bit more under that little message to go, yeah, my time is up because Microsoft just bought one of the biggest companies around in our space, right? Now, who's left? We talked about it just yesterday that EA is an independent developer who's talked about now getting purchased by Disney and Ubisoft. Both EA and Ubisoft are on Disney's plate. They're considered about getting back into the world of, full development on their own studios with producing new games under the Disney brand. Does Ubisoft come into now go into Disney and all that cloud streaming then there's so many ways Ubisoft can now take this little bit that they hold from Microsoft and Activision and leverage that to another level, right? All of a sudden now, if Netflix is streaming games, right? Rest in peace, Stadia. Dude, I always got to put it out there. Right? I can't help it. It just hurts. But if Ubisoft now gets purchased by Disney, Disney's already got Disney Plus. What if you can start getting Disney games streamed there too? Right? Like there's more to Disney's deal here as well.
There is a possibility of a lot of things still moving around, and I think the CMA's job really just getting started. But all of this cloud stuff, it seems like when this very first began, I thought, oh, this cloud stuff, this is silly to hold this all up. But the more time goes on, the more I think these cloud services and abilities will be very integral to the next generation of console.
Yeah, not so much this time around, right? Like we're getting into cloud streaming. PlayStation just announced that, hey, we're getting cloud streaming this month now when it comes to their platforms with premium, with the PlayStation Plus premium level tier. You got to be at the top in order to get that. Much similar in the vein of what Microsoft brings with Ultimate Game Pass, right? You got to have the top level if you want to stream these games. I'd stream those games on Xbox. Dude, I have Ultimate. I think it's a fantastic service. And I'm kind of thinking premium for PlayStation is the way to go as well if you're wanting to do cloud streaming and all this other stuff. And as we build out this library, dude, how long until we get Activision's games popping up on the cloud?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to take very long at all. No. Now that this deal is finally closed, I think
Ubisoft, though, right? That's the deal.
That's where it gets interesting. Yeah.
So
is this going to be just straight added to Game Pass, or is this going to be a different kind of secondary service because of Ubisoft's inclusion? It's Ubisoft Plus just becomes a section of Game Pass, perhaps.
Well, that's you read my mind, Scott, because that's where I was going, right? Because right now we have Game Pass, we have Microsoft's Ultimate tier thing as well in cloud streaming, but there's also a deal in there that Microsoft has with Ubisoft to bring over Ubisoft Plus or Ubisoft Connect. I can't remember which one they went with, whatever it is, but it's there. So all of a sudden now, if you want to stream Activision games, you have to get Plus or Ubisoft Plus, but it's only found on Xbox, right? Now, granted, right now it's also over on PlayStation Plus. So over on PlayStation. So you can get it there too, but what kind of deal is already in the works with Microsoft and Ubisoft to make sure that, hey, yeah, we give you guys the full rights to use the cloud for Activision games, but we're going to bring it over to our platform so it stays somewhat exclusive, right? Moving forward, Scott, we already know Call of Duty, the biggest game that Activision has, will be everywhere for the next 10 years.
Yeah, there's not a lot behind exclusivity. That was the biggest part of the deal, I think.
It was. What do we start to get exclusive, though, coming out of the world of Activision? That's the next big thing. because you don't spend $69 billion to give your competition away to PlayStation, right?
Well, Guitar Hero might just come back after.
Oh man, do you want Guitar Hero? I don't want it, dude. I don't need another plastic guitar sitting collecting dust in my basement. It'll pop, people will be like, oh, it's back, and you get 2 months worth, and then push it to the side.
You see, I was working at Blockbuster during the Rock Band revolution. Yeah. That was absolute pandemonium. So I know the hunger is still out there.
Oh man, do you think it'll last?
No, not beyond one life release.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It might bring back Rock Band. There might be, kind of a follow up afterwards, something more specific. But sure. Rock Band Beatles comes to mind. But
oh yeah,
I think it was a trend that could come back once more for one little rattle.
How about Tony Hawk?
Oh, that's the big one. I would like that. I certainly would. I haven't played the remastered version of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games.
1 and 2? Yeah.
Yeah, I think 3 was really where I joined in as a kid.
Fair enough. We are far from done talking about this deal, because the things that are about to happen have only begun. So stick around. We got a lot more to talk about, I'm sure, this whole Microsoft Activision deal. Scott, topic number 2 comes from Phil Spencer himself, welcoming the legendary teams of Activision Blizzard King to Team Xbox. We said we weren't done. Dude, this is just the beginning. We love gaming, we play games, create games, and know firsthand how much gaming means to all of us as individuals and collectively as a community. And today we officially welcome Activision Blizzard and their teams to Xbox. They are the publishers of some of the most played and most beloved franchises in gaming history across console, PC, and mobile. From Pitfall to Call of Duty, World of Warcraft to Overwatch, Candy Crush Saga to Farm Heroes Saga. Their studios, dude, what is Farm Heroes? That's the mobile side, right?
I've not heard of that one.
I'm telling you, that's where that is. Their studios have pushed the boundaries of gaming for players around the world. I've long admired the work of Activision Blizzard and King and the impact they have had on gaming, entertainment, and pop culture. Whether it was late nights spending playing the Diablo campaign with friends from start to finish, gathering their entire family in the rec room for our weekly Guitar Hero night, or going to Epic Streak in Candy Crush, in Candy Crush, some of my most memorable gaming moments came from the experiences their studios have created. It is incredible to welcome such legendary teams to Xbox. As one team, we'll learn, innovate, and continue to deliver on our promise to bring the joy and community of gaming to more people. We'll do this in a culture that strives to empower everyone to do their best work, where all people are welcome, and is centered on our ongoing commitment of gaming for everyone. Scott, I'm stopping it right there quickly, because the culture we've known has been pretty toxic in the world of Activision for quite some time. I wonder if that changes now.
Yeah, I'm really wondering if there's going to be a good cleaning of the house, and similarly to the different properties that this game or this deal includes. I'm looking at you, Overwatch.
Yeah. He continues on as, we are intentional about inclusion in everything we do at Xbox, from our team to the products we make and the stories we tell, to the way our players interact and engage as a wider gaming community. Together we'll create new worlds and stories, bring your favorite games to more places, so more players can join in, and we'll engage with and delight players in new, innovative ways to places they love to play, including mobile, cloud streaming, and more. There's that cloud streaming thing again, Scott. Dude, it's players.
That's a big part of this.
It absolutely is. Yeah. Players have always been at the center of everything we do, and as we grow, we'll continue to keep players at the heart of it all. We'll continue to listen to your feedback, build a community where you can be yourself, where developers can do their best work, and continue to make really fun games. As promised, we will always continue to make more games available in more places, and that begins now by enabling cloud streaming providers and players to stream Activision Blizzard games in the European Economic Area, a commitment made to the European Commission. Today, we start to work to bring beloved Activision, Blizzard, and King franchises to Game Pass and other platforms. We'll share more about when you can expect to play in the coming months, and we know you're excited. We are too. For the millions of fans who loved Activision Blizzard King games, We want to thank you to know that today is a good day to play. You are at the heart of the soul of these franchises, and we are honored to have you as part of our community. Whether you play on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, or mobile, you are welcome here, and will remain welcome even if Xbox isn't where you play your favorite franchises. Because when everyone plays, we all win. We believe in our news today will unlock a world of possibilities for more ways to play. Thank you for the ongoing support. We have so much more to come in the coming months. I'm excited for the future and cannot wait to share with you. Dude, this is big. Just think how much bigger Microsoft and Xbox just became.
Oh, absolutely. A huge catalog of these properties, these games could be coming to Game Pass in the next short while. I wouldn't expect it all to happen over the next month or so, but look at all the different properties that this involves. I mentioned Overwatch, but StarCraft. There's so much talk about that people want StarCraft in a shooter made by Coalition. Think about a Gears-style campaign made with StarCraft and Protoss and Zerg, and it could be really, really good. I've also seen a lot of conversation about are we going to ever get World of Warcraft on console, on an Xbox,
right,
and play it through that way, which sounds a little strange, a little alien to me, but it's certainly possible.
Dude, they list off a bunch of games from now the studios, okay, that are in their thumbnail. Here it is: Sea of Thieves, Overwatch, Starfield, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, Candy Crush, Doom, Fallout, StarCraft, Crash Bandicoot, The Elder Scrolls, Halo, Forza, Call of Duty, Senua's Saga. We're getting into Hellblade 2, is what, if you don't know what Senua's Saga is Hellblade 2, Warcraft, Diablo, Flight Simulator, Minecraft. That's just the tip of the iceberg, Scott. Not to mention the games that they're currently working on too, right? Perfect Dark, Fable. The other Forza Horizon will be the next one, I'm sure, to come now that Motorsport is out. The list is just growing, and now bringing in Activision Blizzard. My goodness, man. And this is where PlayStation really became worried, is they have more studios than we do now, right? Like, is this the turning point for Xbox?
Oh, this might be the first steps to dominance in this console generation. Because I believe that still belongs to PlayStation. PlayStation kills it.
Absolutely.
So they shouldn't be terribly worried. It's not to say that this is over, the console war is done, but I do understand PlayStation getting a little more defensive now. Months and months later, it does make sense.
Yeah, there's a lot, I think, for PlayStation to be concerned about. They are buying more studios. I wouldn't be surprised in the next few weeks, the next week at all, if we see PlayStation just purchased this studio, PlayStation bought that studio, right? That is coming. Those discussions have been in the works, waiting for... Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it today, honestly, right? They announced theirs.
Finally, yeah.
Here's what PlayStation has coming now. Oh, they got this big purchase, now we purchase this studio. They've got it matched. They often do this, right? They go back and forth between the two to see who can up the next one. And I'm curious to see what PlayStation does now to... I don't want to say retaliate, but to kind of boost themselves up a bit more, right? It kind of is. Yeah. It kind of is. Yeah, it is. But at the same time, they have to be there in the mind of gamers still. Now that Xbox just really stole the spotlight today.
Yeah, that's true. That's for sure. And I'm wondering, what is the next acquisition going to be on PlayStation? Do you have any sort of guesses? Because Square Enix is brought up all the time.
Yeah.
FromSoft is kind of brought up as well since the Demon Souls remaster. But I don't foresee FromSoft being sold because I think of them as just being so strong and independent.
And I don't.
But Square Enix I could see, but it would again be a massive move.
I don't think they will. They already have such a tight-knit relationship with them that they're almost considered like second party because they put a lot of Final Fantasy games there exclusively, right?
That's true.
Do they want to pull that in? Here's the problem with Square Enix. Because Square Enix goes, it didn't reach our expectations. Dude, it's every game they launch, right? It never meets their expectations. Can PlayStation fix that if they were to buy the studio, to buy the company, to buy the publisher, right? Is that an opportunity that they could bring to the table? Maybe. But if you're looking at a studio or a publisher that says it didn't meet expectations, is that a company you really want to buy?
Yeah, it doesn't exactly spell confidence and raise the company value, but
No, you want to hear, yeah, we did fantastic numbers. This is where we're at. And granted, Final Fantasy does fantastic numbers. Like, they're not shy of hitting the millions and millions, right? Like, they hit very high. They hit very well. Final Fantasy 16, though, dude, did not hit their expectations. I'm like, are you kidding me? At this point, I'm kind of considering it as my game of the year. And yet, it didn't hit expectations. You know how many other people are thinking game of the year as well? Like,
yeah.
How do you get game of the year conversation going off of a game that didn't meet expectations? Makes me wonder. But when you get back into the world of Activision, Blizzard, Microsoft, now the list goes on, right? But they're in there with Bethesda now, the Coalition, Rare, like the list of developing studios now, first party studios, Scott. We should get a list together and find out how many studios they actually have now. And they are
dozens.
Well, that's just it, right? We always talked about for so long with Xbox that where are all the first party games? Where are the first party studios? Here they are. They are now matched toe to toe, if not surpassed, in the world of PlayStation because they have so many studios in house now. It is nuts. We wondered how long this was going to go on, and at one point, whether or not it was even going to happen. But here it is. Phil Spencer, excited, well over the moon, I'm sure. The stress is probably lifted a little bit, but there's still a lot to talk about and a lot more to come. And dude, we are far from finished. Dude, 2 topics today on the show. Both are big ones. Scott, Stephen Totillo clarifies over on Twitter for us what's happening with the whole Ubisoft and Activision deal. Well, plans to stream Activision Blizzard games through Ubisoft Plus can grant access rights to others. Doesn't mention Xbox Cloud, but presumably rights for current games and games from the next 15 years held in perpetuity. Dude, they got quite the deal going on, don't they?
It kind of sounds like they have become the gatekeeper instead of Microsoft becoming the gatekeeper, which keeps everybody safe, I suppose.
I suppose, but cloud streaming is becoming more and more of a thing, and Ubisoft just put their hands in one of the biggest pies around, I believe. You know, rest in peace to Stadia, dude. You can't help but make sure they were there. They had it. And now everybody else is taking what they built upon and growing. And Ubisoft just partnered with one of the biggest deals around probably right now. As far as the next 15 years go, everything from Activision to Ubisoft is only on their service.
We are really going to see streaming in the next generation. Mark my words.
Yeah, PlayStation 6? What do you call the next Xbox?
Next box.
Ah, there you go. Scott, dude, we took a look at the list of games today, and the first one has me kind of baffled. Take it away, man.
It's a little too early for Christmas talk, in my opinion, but The Grinch Christmas Adventure is out today on PC, Xbox One, X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Nintendo Switch. There's also Railgrade on PC and Switch, and Lords of the Fallen has released on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X.
Wonder how well that runs on Xbox.
Seek the light.
Dare to believe. Dare to
And that'll wrap up today's show, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news each and every day. We'll be back again very, very soon. There's a lot to talk about all the time. I'm Drew. That's Scott.
And we'll see you inside the game.